Hello and welcome. I'm Saeed from StoryPlanet.net. Dive right into the essence of the most captivating books without reading them cover to cover. Whether you're on the go, at the gym, or just relaxing at home, we offer you a unique and enriching listening experience. Today, we are exploring the book, A First-Rate Madness, a creation by Nassir Ghaemi. A First-Rate Madness, 2011, contends that certain highly successful leaders owe their accomplishments to their encounters with mental illness. Conversely, the book argues that leaders who are mentally stable may excel when the world is calm, but their mental well-being can impede their leadership capabilities during periods of turmoil. Before we delve into these revelations, it's interesting to note that Nassir Ghaemi is a distinguished psychiatrist and psychiatry professor at Tufts Medical Center, where he also teaches psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. His extensive research focuses on depression and bipolar disorder, resulting in the publication of over 200 scientific articles. He holds the honorable distinction of being a fellow of the American Psychiatry Association. With 5K ideas to unveil, brace yourself for a deep dive into this captivating book on StoryPlanet.net. To start, this text encourages individuals to see the benefits of having experience with mental illness. It suggests that this experience can be advantageous in various ways and encourages readers to explore and embrace these potential advantages. Mental health issues are often stigmatized, causing people with psychiatric illnesses to refrain from speaking out. Nassir Ghaemi believes that by looking at the past, we can see that many great leaders had mental health issues. Embracing this can lead to celebrating the positive outcomes of psychiatric illnesses. This taboo has led to a preference for normal leaders, but having conditions like depression or bipolar disorder can actually be advantageous in political leadership. By examining the behavior of influential leaders with mental health issues, we can challenge our prejudices about this topic. Key idea number 1. Certain mental illnesses can enhance leadership skills. Mental illness is serious and often carries a social stigma, causing some individuals to hide their symptoms. However, the author believes that certain mental illnesses, like depression and bipolar disorder, can foster important character traits. Depression can enhance empathy and understanding of sadness, while bipolar disorder can bring about creative problem-solving skills. Milder forms of these disorders, such as dysthymic personality disorder, associated with depression, and hyperthymic personality disorder, corresponding to bipolar disorder, also have their own unique traits. People with dysthymic personalities are often empathic and deep thinkers, while those with hyperthymic personalities are energetic, creative, and fearless. The article will later explore influential leaders who have had these personality disorders. Key idea number 2, Martin Luther, King Jr. and Gandhi, both dealt with depression, which may have influenced their endorsement of non-violent resistance. The author, Ghaemi, believes that Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. both experienced periods of depression throughout their lives. Both leaders had suicidal tendencies in their youth, and the author argues that these were genuine suicide attempts. As adults, depression was triggered or worsened by the pressure they faced as leaders of rights movements. The author also suggests that depression strengthens empathy and sees a link between King and Gandhi's politics and their mental illness. Both leaders advocated for love and understanding, approaching conflict resolution through non-violent means influenced by their non-normative worldviews shaped by mental illness. Key idea number 3. The mental health struggles of leaders like Churchill and JFK had benefits for the world, but it can also lead to disaster when leaders experience mania. In this text, the author discusses the mental health of 3 world leaders: Neville Chamberlain, Winston Churchill, John F. Kennedy, and Adolf Hitler. They suggest that Churchill had type 2 bipolar disorder, which helped him recognize the threat of the Nazis when others couldn't. Kennedy is described as having hyperthymic personality disorder, which allowed him to hold firm during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Hitler is believed to have had bipolar disorder and an over-reliance on methamphetamines, which contributed to his aggressive behavior and instability. Key idea number 4. Despite having sound mental health, Tony Blair and George W. Bush's leadership abilities were not effective. The article discusses how politicians' mental health is often blamed when people disagree with their decisions. The author argues that the thought processes of George W. Bush and Tony Blair were typical for mentally healthy individuals. They make a thought experiment, suggesting that leaders with hypothymia or bipolar personalities may have been more creative in finding alternate solutions instead of invading Iraq. The author believes that Bush and Blair's refusal to change their course of action, despite evidence of a mistake, is typical of mentally healthy individuals who struggle to admit they are wrong. The author concludes that leaders with more experience of mental illness may have made different choices that could have benefited the world. Key idea number 5. Recognizing the benefits of mental illness can help to reduce its stigma. The stigma surrounding mental illness makes it difficult for those affected and for others to understand it. Recognizing that historical figures also struggled with mental illness can help change this perception. By removing the stigma, more people will be willing to seek help and diagnosis. The author believes that leaders in times of crisis can benefit from their experiences with mental health issues. Examples of such leaders include Churchill during World War II and JFK during the Cold War. In conclusion, mental illness should not be stigmatized or seen as a source of shame. While living with mental illness can be challenging and impact individuals and their loved ones, there are positive aspects to consider. History reveals that some influential world leaders were successful because of their mental health struggles. Their unique experiences and perspectives set them apart and contributed to their effectiveness. Thank you for listening to this summary. If you enjoyed this exploration, we invite you to discover other fascinating books on storyplanet.net. Don't wait any longer. A multitude of books, stories, and knowledge await you there. See you soon on storyplanet.net.